Well, hey everybody, welcome back to the homestead. It is a little chilly and cloudy out today, but we thought we would take a walk and talk and bring everybody up to speed on what we've been up to and what we're planning for 2025.
Let's get started.
Let's do it. Maggie, ready to take a walk, girl? We're going to walk over to that side of the property where we had our pumpkin patch last year, and we're going to talk about the plans for that area.
Oh yeah.
Coming up this year.
What are you planning on doing over there?
We qualified for and was approved for a USDA high tunnel grant this year. So we're going to get the equip high tunnel. Hopefully, I've got to get that ordered and get it put up before midsummer this year. So
yeah, okay. Was it October?
It's either, I think it's September or October,
I can't remember.
But we're gonna do that. So that's what we're gonna be adding, a second high tunnel over there. So we're gonna go over there and look at that area and kind of see what size we want and start making preparations for all of that. Because with the equip program, we have to pay for it out of pocket first, and then they will reimburse us so much per foot of the
square foot.
Per square foot of the high tunnel. Maggie's got a little still issues with her foot and her hip. She has an appointment for a highly recommended veterinarian in our area Friday. Today's Saturday, so next week. So hopefully she'll be getting some relief of that. So, as you all remember, this is where we had our pumpkin patch this year that did pretty good for us. So we think the soil is really good right here. And one of the requirements of the equip program is that you have to grow in the ground. You can't have raised beds. And so I think we're gonna make it in this area, but not too much bigger than what we're standing in right now.
I need to step it off.
Yeah, so if you will step that off, we'll see how big.
All right, we don't want to go past this.
Yeah.
Let's see, 3 feet, 7 would be 21, right?
Yeah.
We want a roughly 24 feet wide.
I'd say, yeah. What is our high tunnel now?
It's 24 by 20 deep.
It's 20 foot deep and 20 foot wide?
24 wide.
24 foot wide? Okay, yeah. So look, 24 by 24.
3 times what equals 24?
8.
Okay. Go right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, I think that'll be perfect.
So 24 work.
Yeah, 24 wide will be a good size for us.
We don't want to come, because we're going to have to we'll clean this stuff up and semi-level it.
Mm-hmm. So
either 20 or 24 wide, either one of those will work.
I like the 24 wide. So let's measure off 24 by 30 and see.
So that'd be 10 steps for me. I'd say we'd want to start it, by the way the ground is, probably right in here.
Okay, yeah.
So 10 steps would be 30 feet.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh.
So that's about 30.
Okay.
And we could see that there's a gully right here where the water runs.
Oh yeah, okay.
So we want to we wouldn't want to go much further than this.
Okay.
So 24 by 30 would be
I think
perfect.
24 by 30, and that's a really good, and we could scooch it this way some from where you were.
Yeah, we'll scooch it.
Yeah.
And
so 20.
nice level spot.
And 24
there was
by,
an old barn here, and there's really good soil right here. So.
Yeah, 24 by 30, how many square feet is that?
Whatever 24 times 30 is. 24 times 30, it's 1,000.
1,000 square feet. And they pay roughly $4, and I think it's $4.52 a square foot.
Yeah.
Which is 4,500. Yeah. 4,500 bucks.
4,500 bucks. Yeah.
Is what we can.
I think we can get them for that since we're putting it together ourselves.
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay. We're getting a tall sidewall.
Yeah, the high side. We're definitely getting the high sidewall, high tunnel this time, not the I don't even know what you call ours. We call it a high tunnel, but it's
just a short.
It's a low sidewall high tunnel. Yeah. So, all
They
right.
need to be
So
at least 5-6 foot tall.
I think that's what we've settled on, y'all. 24 by 30.
And that'll work good here.
I think that'll work perfect right here.
We're gonna grow maybe more potatoes.
Maybe or some
like
more
that.
root crops. Yeah, potatoes. And I think hopefully down the road in the winter, we're going to use it to overwinter rabbits, maybe for fertilizer
meat.
and or meat. Yeah, we'll see.
That works
So
good.
yeah, all right.
That works that fits this spot perfect.
Fits this spot perfectly. And we'll have to clear out some more of these trees and all of these trees will have to go.
They'll all have to go.
Yeah.
Pull them stumps out.
Yep. So okay, well that is project number 1 for 2025 is a brand new high tunnel greenhouse.
Yeah.
All right, on to the next thing. All right, now we're going to walk up here and Jim is going to talk to you about his fencing and his fencing projects for 2025.
Yes. Well, this isn't the main fence, but I'm going to finish finally after almost 2 years now, year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
This fence right here.
Yeah, so for those of you who are new, let's just talk about that. So Jim built this cedar fence.
Yeah, give him a shot of that through there.
So all of these cedar logs come from trees that Jim cut down on our property. As you can see, it goes all the way down to the far corner. So our property goes all the way around the corner there and then back down that road. So all of these logs are trees that Jim cut from our property, and he hand built this fence, which looks marvelous. Yeah, but he got to right here, and this is when his shoulder gave out last year.
Yeah.
So,
so I had all these logs already cut for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually a lot lighter now. But what I'm going to do is, I think when Nate comes over this spring to help for a few days, I'm going to get him to help me finish this section of fence with this.
Yep. Because our property goes to
kind of
where that tree, well, there's the power pole.
We'll walk up there.
Yeah, so it kind of goes almost to that tree right there.
Yeah.
And then shoots back that way.
Yeah. So anyhow, we're going to...
So he's going to take the fence.
Nate, this fence here is going to go... we walk up to that corner where that big old tree broke. Mm-hmm. And we'll get to finish this section of fence, which is the only... or this road frontage. So that'd be nice to have that done because I'm tired of pulling out the driveway and looking over here and having something unfinished that I should have finished a year and a half ago.
And so the cedar fence is going to stop right there, or are you taking it on back?
I'm going to take the cedar fence up to, I got to find the property line again. I don't know if I'm going to worry about, I may just leave this junk. Just to kind of block the neighbors.
Yeah. Look how big that oak tree was, y'all.
This was, I think, the corner. Blocks
Go stand in that cedar tree so they can get a feel for how big that tree was.
Oh, this was a great big oak
so that tree fell year before last?
Yeah, it took out the power line.
Took out the power line, yeah. But that's how big that tree is. I know Jim's not a big man, but still, you can see how wide that thing is. About
big in here.
That thing's about 4 foot wide, isn't it, at the trunk?
Oh yeah, it is 4-footed. This was a big old red oak.
Yeah, it was a big red oak tree, and so when it fell all through here and took out that power line right there, and then we let some friends that we met from Dandridge. They came over and got a bunch of wood for fire.
Yeah, a bunch of firewood.
Firewood, and then Jim has cut up the rest of it for our firewood. But anyway, so the fence is gonna run up through there.
Yeah. I'm gonna make it. I'll stay to our side of the property some. I'm gonna make it easy to get up through there with fencing.
Okay.
I've decided to go with a 5-wire electric fence instead of the woven wire.
And does it have a name, that fence?
Well, it's a high tensile electric wire. The fence posts I'm gonna get are the oh shoot, I just drew a blank, baby. Timeless fence posts.
Made right here in Greenville, Tennessee.
In Greenville. Yeah. They're about $10 a post, but they're made out of recycled PVC. And so you don't have to worry about the fence ever grounding out. Like if you get a metal post and then you have to get those plastic insulators, the insulators will bust and yada, yada, yada. And it's actually, cost-wise, the posts are a little more expensive, but it's also, you don't have to worry about stuff breaking on it. And if a tree falls on it, it's flexible, it'll bend over. You go cut the tree off and it'll flex back to the way, to where it was. So it's worth looking into if anybody's running
And if
any
a
fencing.
tree falls and you're not out there, does it make a sound?
It does make a sound. I don't care what they say. Just because we didn't hear it,
That's right.
it still made a sound.
That's right.
It made a sound, but nobody heard it.
That's right.
Something heard it, I guarantee.
And y'all, I could just tell you that Jim did extensive research on the fencing, and he went back and forth. He was on the fence, pun intended, about woven wire, the regular bob wire, like the regular 3-wire electric fencing, and then so he's done his due diligence on the research of this fence. So we are confident in his choices. All right.
So anyhow,
how big is this fencing project?
it is about 4,000 linear feet.
That's pretty big.
It's big.
And tell folks what you have to do. What all is involved in getting ready to run the fence and running the fence, and what's your estimated time of completion?
I would love to have it done by the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it'd take me a year to do it.
Yeah.
Because you have to run it like a regular fence. You've got to put your corners in, like a wooden post.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to put those in, and you're bracing. Pull your string down through there, get it all straight, and set all your fence posts.
Mm-hmm.
And the good thing about the high tensile electric fence, you could space your T-posts out farther.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a lot of work.
Mm-hmm. And then talk a little bit about we met some neighbors down the road, and her son is maybe going to help you. Aiden. Thanks, Aiden. Is maybe going to help you do some stuff for the fencing.
Yes,
what is it?
I've been working and saving up some money so where I can. I think he's in his 20s, mm-hmm. where I could actually hire. I'm gonna hire him to help me with as much as I need.
Because you mainly need help with corner posts?
I mainly need help with the corner posts,
mm-hmm.
just because I have trouble still digging holes and stuff, so I can't re-hurt my shoulder. So I'm gonna get him to mainly help me with that, and then I could probably do a lot of, the majority of it. But,
and then Nate owes you some days.
Yeah, Nate owes me a few days. We swapped some work out, and I'm gonna get him, I think, to help me with the front right there. Mm-hmm. Maybe, if not, he could help me pull some wire or something, mm-hmm. some other stuff. So.
All right.
But yeah, anyhow, so our property goes up through there and up that hill.
Mm-hmm. It kind of comes in this way and then jets back that way and then back that way again.
Yeah.
So
if you could see,
mm-hmm.
see the big oak trees up on top of that hill, that's the end of the property.
Okay. Yeah, way
over there.
Back there. And I don't know if I have some old footage of this angle right here, but Jim cleared off that entire hillside there.
Look how big it looks now.
I know, it looks ginormous.
And I've only just started.
Yeah. So we're hoping that opening that up to sunlight this spring, that'll spring back in and get some grass like we've got growing over here.
It'll start growing. It's going to take, it's going to take a couple years to get stuff going again, mm-hmm. but it'll come back.
Yeah.
It just takes a little time.
So our property goes to about
right here where the brush. Well, there's the bee tree.
Oh yeah, there's the bee tree right there, which is a cedar tree that is in the fence row.
Yes.
And then
it's right in here. Our property line's right through here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's a lot of it's pretty steep and a lot of ravines and gullies. So we're just going to keep this a natural wildlife habitat.
Yeah. And I may actually, now that I'm thinking about it for easier purposes, I may turn the fence up on that hill and come down back there and then back up right through here and leave this natural.
Yeah.
Because this would be a catastrophe for
fencing.
A fence.
Yeah, I agree.
Kind of just zip right back down through here, and then I've kind of cleared a path up through there. Just follows a lot of the big cedars. You know, our property will go take off up through there.
Yeah.
It won't be too bad. I'm just going to stay on this side of the cedar trees about a foot or so where it's semi-clear and keep it easy.
All right. That looks good. Yeah, that looks good where you cleared it.
Yeah.
So that is project number 2, beginning fence and wildlife habitat.
Whew, almost don't need this hat no more.
All right, on to the next thing. All right, as y'all can see, Jim's got several burn piles back here from clearing this hillside off, but that, I know the camera don't pick it up, but that's a massive amount of acreage.
It is.
Well, not a massive, but for us, yeah, it's a significant amount. So now we're approaching the back of our property, which will be our probably second wildlife habitat area.
Yeah.
And or silvopasture.
Little silvo pasture. I figure, well, we can get back there a little bit. We're going to do perimeter fence, and I'm going to do a cross fence somewhere back in here. And I'm thinking about when we raise a couple pigs each year, I'm going to put them back here in the woods, kind of a silvo pasture area, and then I can cross fence off of that.
For this area, it's going to be pigs. So I think that we have decided we probably will not be farrowing pigs anytime soon.
No.
So we will just buy feeder pigs.
And a couple, 2
just
or 3
depending
a year.
on whatever variety we want to get. And then you're going to static them in a big area?
Well, what I want to do, my thought is, the whole perimeter fence, and then somewhere back through here and up over that way, we could keep the sheep when we get them later, and then a few years down the road, we'll just have a couple cows.
Yeah.
I keep them over on this side, and then while we're raising pigs, I'm gonna keep them in the woods here, and then I could divide up with the electric fencing.
Yeah.
Some smaller paddocks.
Right.
Not real small. I like to run the pigs more as if they're natural. Just give them a bigger area. They'd take care of the acorns. I cut down some of these trees, fertilize. It'll get some grass growing in here.
Maggie, we're back here, girl.
So as we're raising them, because there'll be some grass come up in here too.
Yeah.
And then as we're raising them every few weeks or month, however big the area is and how bad they're tearing it up, I'll do cross sections like I did when we had them the first year.
Yeah, so instead of moving them all over the property, you're just going to keep them primarily back here and section this off.
I'll section
for
it off
a week or 2 at a time.
Yeah, or 3 weeks or a month, depending on how muddy it is, how bad they're tearing it up.
Yeah.
Because they love to get in the woods.
Yeah, that's a great idea. They do. Plus, it'll keep them. They'll be cool and
one of their favorite things to eat is poison ivy,
which is abundant here. Yeah.
You know, because after we had them back here that first year, and then I come in and cleaned a bunch of this up, we've got grass growing out there.
We do have.
Now
grass
there's still
growing.
a bunch of little trees that need to get cut down eventually for a little bit better silvo pasture, but
yeah,
it'll happen. It's just going to take some time.
Yeah, but it was So that's not the main focus. The silvo pasture back here is not the main focus. The
No.
main focus right now
It's a main.
is
The whole perimeter fence
whole
is
perimeter
the driver
fencing.
for everything
yeah,
else.
and then we can utilize this area for feeder pigs.
Yeah.
For the interim while we're
Yeah.
getting the rest of the property
Yeah.
ready.
Because once the pigs get up to now I wouldn't put them when they're real small back in here probably because it's towards the back of the property. So I may get them, I may move them around for a month or so until they get bigger because we do have a lot of coyotes.
That's true.
Once they get a certain size, nothing's going to mess with them.
That's true. Okay, cool. All right, so that is project number 3 is the pig pastures, I guess is what we're calling it.
Yeah, the second one is the whole main perimeter fence because that drives everything else because I could pull hot wires and do any cross fencing I need off of that.
So when do we think we will get pigs? Is that this year or
early
next year?
It'll probably be early. I would rather have stuff ready.
Me too.
Because I'm going to be working, you're working, and I can't be at work worrying about if pig got out or this, that, or the other. Or something going
I
wrong,
agree. Because which brings us to the perfect time to talk about my job.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I you all know I started my job mid-January. I had to drive to Ohio, which was brutal cold and right after a winter storm. But I did the onboarding up in Ohio for it was a day and a half of that, and then picked up my company car and drove back. And I've just been blowing and going ever since. So my days now are pretty busy with the onboarding process and the training programs and all of that stuff. So it'll be probably mid-April, March or April before I'm turned loose to make my own schedules and do my own thing with that. So so I'm kind of just here and there and I'm in and out all the time. So not a lot of homesteading going on with me, but thankfully Jim has picked up the slack. He's picked up my slack and taken care of our chickens, so I'm really, really appreciative of that. But I will be doing some seed starts here soon and back to high tunnel gardening, but maybe not as much in the beginning. So anyway, so that's what I've been up to. Extremely happy and excited about my new opportunity, and it's just such a blessing, and I'm thankful for it. So, all right, on to the...
Your hair looks nice today.
Thanks, I washed it. All right, so on to the next thing.
Yeah, we'll... recording.
Are we recording now?
We're recording now. Sorry, baby.
Just so y'all know,
I'm
about to repeat because everything I said was not recorded, but hopefully I don't forget anything. So my next project...
Scanny man running the camera.
Well, good help is hard to find, y'all. Oh, all right. So next up for me, a project for 2025 is bees. Bees are coming to Two Turtles Homestead, and the first order of business for me is getting to know everything that I need to know about any animal that comes to the homestead so that I don't kill them, so they have a better chance of survival. So our neighbor down the street, Aiden, who's offered to help Jim with the fence, has graciously agreed to tutor me in bees because he is a master beekeeper. And so so we're thinking about this area here. Of course, we got to clear all the trees, which we'll be doing this year, and this will be the area hopefully that the bees will get. I'm going to start with one hive because I want to make sure that I know what I'm doing before I overload myself. And so the first order of business for me is education. So I'm going to be applying or signing up for the Tennessee Master Beekeepers program. I'm just waiting to see when that program starts. But until then, I'll just be doing some self-education and learning all that I can learn about bees in Tennessee. And so I'll be working in, so whether we get bees in 2025 or 2026, just all depends on that class and if we get ready. So I'll be spending this year, like I said, clearing the area, sourcing equipment and anything that we need for beekeeping. So yeah, so that's it for the bees for right now. We'll keep y'all up to date on how that process is going. And you can tell them why we chose this area right here.
Yeah, well, for one thing, we got there's a flat spot right there.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all can see, but I'm kind of downhill from probably.
She's looking at my feet right
I
now.
am. If I, yes, so.
I'm about 16
Yeah.
feet 3 inches away from her.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So it's kind of a natural barrier for the wind to block wind and
Yeah.
all of that. So.
Yeah. The dominant winds come mainly that direction, so the hillside will kind of help break them. From my understanding, is kind of what you want.
Yeah. Yes.
And then we have a little flat area right there, which makes it easy on us. And then also, we're not too far from the house and the high tunnel, but we're far enough away to where you won't have to worry about
correct
them swarming.
Yeah, like if we're out doing something and tractor running or whatever.
Yeah.
So that is it. So
and the bees will have a nice view.
So we may get bees in the fall of 2025 or the spring of 2026, just depending on whatever time of year it is to get bees and if we're ready for it.
Yeah.
So that's it for that. So on to the next thing.
Yeah.
So now we are up on our knoll and we're about 30 feet in elevation from the road right there. Yeah. So now tell people what you were talking about before you hit.
Somebody forgot to hit record again.
Again. You're fired.
You're fired. Okay. Well, we're up on the knoll that you could see from the dining room table.
Mm-hmm.
But so the fence is going to come up through here, kind of back where Kathy is. And we're just going to jog it around this knoll. Yeah,
because it's pretty, it flattens out up here. That's pretty much straight down to the road.
Yeah, there's no sense in trying to run it out there. We got a nice little flat area right here.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little ledge where the old fence row used to go.
There's no sense in
running
the fence.
But as Jim said, there's no point in going down there because it's just,
there's no sense.
It's easier to run it up here. And then it's a nice little knoll up here. It's about an acre or so.
Yeah, it's probably a couple acres actually, if it was cleaned up. I mean, it's a mess. But when we get some sheep, which will be some of the first animals we get.
Yeah, so why don't we take a moment and get over here in the clearing and we can talk about the sheep.
Run them up in here and help clean out a lot of this underbrush.
Yeah, and so we've decided on Katahdin sheep.
Katahdins for here, I think.
Yeah, because I like the idea of Katahdin because they are a dual purpose breed. They are in the top 5 or 10 for milk sheep. So I like the idea of having them and possibly harvesting milk from them. So, and they are often, have twins and triplets. So we think that they will be a good investment, and they are, they're pretty good about disease resistance and self-worming. Is that right?
As long as you keep them moving.
Yeah.
And don't keep them in the same spot for too long.
Yeah. So yeah, that's our idea for for the Katahdin sheep. Well, we're pretty much settled on that heritage breed.
Yeah, and from all the research I've done, there's quite a few farms around here to get good
stock from. Yeah.
And that's the thing, I want to get the fence in, and I want to start off with not a lot of them, but I want to definitely start off with some good stock.
So we think sheep will come spring of 2026?
For sure.
For sure.
As soon as the fence is in, and I feel comfortable, for sure.
Yeah. So you may not see them on the homestead this year in 2025, but you will see the preparation for that. And so, you know, we just didn't want to be one of those homesteads that overburdens themselves, gets overwhelmed with too many animals, not enough infrastructure. So, so we're just kind of doing infrastructure first, and then we'll get the animals as the infrastructure comes along. But as you can see, I mean, there's quite a bit of land up here.
There is. And I'm telling you, you get sheep in here in the spring, they'll eat this underbrush stuff up.
Yeah, and it flattens out up there too and goes pretty good ways.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it flattens and goes all the way back to the back of the property. But
it's a lot of cleaning, but what's not.
And so then this is the far side of our property. You see it comes, there's another, the road wise right there are T's, and goes down this other road All right, hush, girl. All right, last stop on our property update tour is the high tunnel. Not a lot of difference going on in here. It needs to, for sure, probably get cleaned out. But, oh, it's nice and warm in here. But as you can see, it's a mess in here. And
Smells like rotten potatoes.
it does, because we got some rotten potatoes right there. We still got a little bit of greens growing. They got, you know, the cold kind of did them in. That Swiss chard, it may bounce back. But same going on in here for the high tunnel this year. After that hike around the property.
That's fun.
So I'd say probably the only changes or updates for the high tunnel, plans for the high tunnel this year is we're going to be doing more intentional and selective growing in here. I think we're going to concentrate only on exactly what we eat, probably very little experimentals going on just because of how busy we're going to be. And so we're just going to grow, you know, what we eat: cucumber, squash, green beans, all the things, tomatoes, of course. We'll have our water patch going again, which it'll probably be that's going to be a little bit different this year. But we'll update y'all on that as we go along with that. But immediate plans for the high tunnel is just get in here and clean it out, get all these dead plants up, and get it ready to start planting in probably March or April.
That's bitter.
What was that?
Chicken feed.
Okay. So I will be doing some seed starting in the middle of February. So today's February 1st. So I'll be doing some seed starting in a couple of weeks, and I'll bring you all along for that. And then that's it. And with the chickens, chicken breeding will be starting probably in the middle of March. Probably starting the first round of meat birds for that. And that's it. So, hey, thanks for tagging along with us today. We appreciate you. And as always, if you like our content, we hope that you'll subscribe to our channel and continue to follow us on this life journey that we're on. We would love to have you. And got anything to say?
Oh. Next Sunday, I built something.
Wow.
And I have to wait on some help to pick it up and put it where it needs to go.
Yeah, so
I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, give y'all a little.
I built something heavy, believe it or not.
A little inside baseball on Jim here. Everything he does is hard and heavy. So stay tuned for that.
It's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
It's just heavy.
Yeah. All right. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Oh, thanks, baby.
Yeah.
I had every intention of planting those potatoes, and then time got away from me, and oopsie, now they're rotten. So to the chickens they go.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a mess in here.
There's box and all going in there.
Yeah, it's a boogered up mess.
Here you go, chicken.